Test, test, test. Good afternoon. Can everyone please come to the press conference room? Can everyone please come to the press conference room?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Beth Knox, President of the Seattle Sports Commission, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here for today's exciting announcement. It is truly a thrilling day for the City of Seattle, King County, the state of Washington, and baseball fans across the region. I'd like to just acknowledge some special guests here. We are honored to be joined by Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred, as well as public officials and leaders, representatives from our business and sports community. We also have with us Baseball Hall of Famers, Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martinez. The Seattle Sports Commission is comprised of over 100 businesses that are charged with attracting and hosting premier sporting events that are culturally and economically contributing to our region. And today's announcement is the culmination of 2 years plus worth of time and effort involving the Seattle Mariners, the Seattle Sports Commission, Visit Seattle, and many of the folks in this room here today. Our efforts focused on showcasing the attributes of the greater Seattle area, as well as the amazing experience that this region can offer to fans and visitors. I am incredibly proud of the collaborative spirit that this community shows, and it really proves the vibrancy and strength that we bring. And it is something that I am really looking forward to have the opportunity to showcase all of the efforts that we have put forth in today's announcement. So with that, I will turn it over to our program MC, Mariners broadcaster, Erin Goldsmith.
Thank you, Beth. And welcome to all of you here and those joining us via our live web stream on mariners.com. Today we come to you from one of our city's most iconic structures, that of course being the Space Needle. Before we get started, a quick reminder to please mute your cell phones, even if you're on T-Mobile. A brief outline of today's schedule before we get going. After the comments from our participants, there will be a Q&A session. And we ask those of you in the room to wait for a microphone to state your name and also your affiliation before your question. After the Q&A, there will be some time for some one-on-one interviews for you as well. Following the one-on-one interviews, only those media members who have a wristband, as well as still photographers, can make their way to the observation deck for a photo opportunity with our news conference participants and our special guests, as Beth pointed out, Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martinez. After the photo opportunity, there will be a flag raising with our two Hall of Famers on the roof of the Space Needle, and only those media members with a wristband will be permitted on the roof. We will share the video of the flag raising photos and the video itself at the conclusion of today's events. As Beth said, this is an incredibly exciting day for our city and our region, and we are thrilled that you can all be with us here today. You've already met Beth Knox, but I'd also like to introduce the rest of our participants this afternoon. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred, Mariners Chair and Managing Partner John Stanton, Mariners President of Business Operations Katie Griggs, King County Executive Dal Constantine, and Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin. It's now my pleasure to invite Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred to the podium for today's announcement.
Thank you. Guess it's okay to take that off at least while I talk. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here in Seattle, and even a greater pleasure to make it official. Major League Baseball has awarded the 2023 All-Star Game to Seattle and the Seattle Mariners. Woo! The game here in Seattle in 2023 will be the 93rd Midsummer Classic, the third that's been held in Seattle, and the second held in the current home of the Mariners, T-Mobile Park. I think many of you remember our last All-Star game here in 2001. I certainly do. Great performance by Hall of Famer Cal Ripken, and the first All-Star game for one of the great Mariners, Ichiro Suzuki. We look forward in 2023 to celebrating baseball and some of the great performances that have taken place here in Seattle, including those by Ken and Edgar, who are kind enough to be here with us today. All-Star Week is really a celebration of baseball. There's going to be a number of tremendous events, not only the game itself, but home run derby, events that are easier for fans to attend, like Play Ball Park, that are focused on young people. And even more important, our legacy program will leave behind a number of community projects that will live here in Seattle for years after the game. The city of Seattle was a great candidate for the 2023 game. The compact layout of the city is perfect for an event like this. It's easy for the fans who come from out of town to get around, and it'll be a great opportunity for Seattle to showcase the redeveloped waterfront here in town. The process of getting an all-star game is very competitive these days, and I'd really like to congratulate the people here in Seattle who worked so well as a team. It starts with Mariners managing partner John Stanton, their new president Katie Griggs, Mayor Durkin, of course, Governor Jay Inslee, Sports Commission President Beth Knox, King County Executive Dow Constantine, and the Visit Seattle President Tom Norwalk. All of these people put in a tremendous amount of effort to make the bid for Seattle in 2023 compelling. And again, I want to just close by saying how excited all of us are at Major League Baseball to be coming to Seattle. Thank you.
Another very fun all-star summer come 2023. Well, if you wouldn't mind, please direct your attention to the video monitor as we relive some of the all-star memories that have taken place in our great city and take a look at how All-Star Week will impact our community.
Over Whitecap Mountains, next to the blue waters of the Puget Sound, sits Seattle and T-Mobile Park, a sparkling diamond in the Emerald City, ready once again to welcome baseball's jewel event back to the Northwest.
Durkin homers in his final All-Star game. Base hit.
A celebration of America's pastime, bringing the game to our community. And bringing our community to the world. Get ready for the moments and memories that will last a lifetime.
A single mounted an RBI for Bruce Bochy.
A rare inside the park home run.
The American League has won 5 consecutive All-Star games.
102 miles per hour. Watch the reaction of John Kruk. That hit the warehouse, and they announced it did.
In July 2023, history will be made, and Seattle will shine. As Major League Baseball's brightest stars come together during one unforgettable week.
It's incredible how many times on the broadcast we relive All-Star Game memories that involve Seattle Mariners, and we still talk at great length every weekend leading up to the All-Star Game about the last time it was held here in Seattle in 2001, and there's no question that we'll be reliving those memories of 2023 for decades to come as well. Well, it's now my pleasure to welcome Mariners Chairman and Managing Partner, John Stanton.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Commissioner. On behalf of the Seattle Mariners fans, employees, and ownership, I want to thank Commissioner Manfred for this great honor to host our third All-Star Game in 44 years here in Seattle. We take very seriously this opportunity and are committed to deliver the best All-Star Game ever. Over the last 3 years, I want to thank Randy Adamak, who has worked tirelessly to bring resources together along with many of the people in this room to put together the best bid we possibly could, and we're honored and appreciative, Randy, of your work to make this all happen. Last year, on March 10th, the governor called me to tell me that we would not be able to play what at the time was our first 10 games of the 2020 season in our home here in Seattle. Yesterday, I reminded him of that conversation in which I told him when Seattle and King County come out of the pandemic, we would be there to bring the community together. I think we've done that this season. Even as we struggle with the Delta variant, we have served over 1 million fans at T-Mobile Park. We've done it safely, playing 75 of our 81 games, and I think we've provided great entertainment to this weary, weary community with fireworks, kids, hot dogs, and home runs. Dogs running the bases, kids running the bases, and having the opportunity to have a little fun in the middle of summer. As we have done this, we've restored T-Mobile Park as our summer home here in Seattle. Governor Inslee is at a funeral of a Grant County sheriff today and couldn't be here, but he asked me to read this on his behalf. Washington State stands ready to welcome the athletes from all over the world to Seattle. The Northwest has a rich baseball history and a vibrant sports community. The world-class event is a great opportunity for our city and state to bring people together to celebrate our national pastime, enjoy our beautiful region from the opening pitch to the 7th inning stretch and beyond. There's not much better than baseball in Seattle. This community is still struggling with the broader consequences of the pandemic have affected our spirit. I believe that the 2023 All-Star Game will give us the opportunity to celebrate the entire region. I think you have to agree to me, looking out the window today, there is no nicer place in America than Seattle in the middle of summer. It's a great opportunity for us to show off what we've got. An All-Star is more than a single game. It has many events leading up to the big game. We'll attract over 50,000 tourists to town for 4 days and a global television audience for 3 nights. The draft, the gala, the futures game, the legends game, the home run derby will all be a part of the celebration. All-Star Week is an opportunity for this community to emerge stronger from the pandemic. I believe it's an impetus for us to complete important projects such as Waterfront Park and the East Lake Extension to Sound Transit. The All-Star Game can also be an inspiration for us working with our leaders to redouble our efforts to address the challenges of homelessness, racial equity, and community safety. The eyes of the world will be on this community in 22 months, and it's our opportunity to shine. For our part, the Mariners are committed to make over $50 million in improvements to our facilities, to what we believe is already the best ballpark in baseball. T-Mobile is the centerpiece for this community during the summer, and for the next 2 years, we're going to continue to do everything we can to make it better. Our entire team at the Mariners is committed to this process, and by putting the Summer Classic on, we believe it will be a great opportunity for the Mariners, for the Seattle area, for the county, and for the entire region. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to introduce our new president of business operations, Katie Griggs. She comes to us from Atlanta, having worked at Turner and having turned Atlanta into a soccer town with her leadership of Atlanta United. Baseball is already an important part of Seattle, but Katie's going to help us make it better. Katie Griggs.
Thank you, John, and good afternoon. It is my distinct privilege to be here today on such an exciting day for this community and for baseball fans across the Pacific Northwest. As both John and Commissioner Manfred said, this is a community-wide event, and to bring it to execution, it takes true collaboration and partnership. Planning for this event began back in 2018 with a bid that was submitted to Major League Baseball 2 years ago to this month. We're exceedingly grateful for the hard work and the collaboration that has already come into fruition, and know that we have a lot of work to do in the next 22 months. Together with Major League Baseball and community members, we are excited to make this a uniquely Seattle event, highlighting the amazing people, food, and culture and baseball community that we all have here. We look forward to working together to make this All-Star in 2023 the best that it's ever been. There are a lot of people who I'd like to take a brief moment to thank and recognize. Mayor Durkin, County Executive Constantine, Governor Inslee, who is unable to be here today. All three have been instrumental in getting us to where we are today. We will need to be engaged in a lot of planning with various City of Seattle departments, including Seattle Police and Fire Departments. We are honored to have Police Chief Adrian Diaz and Seattle Fire Chief Harold Scoggins here with us today. Gentlemen, we're very excited to collaborate with you and your full departments to bring a safe and smooth event here to Seattle. Additionally, I'd like to thank Beth Knox and the Seattle Sports Commission, Tom Norwalk and the entire Visit Seattle staff, John Scholes of the Downtown Seattle Association, and Rachel Smith of the Seattle Chamber of Commerce. Many of the individuals who I've already mentioned will be joining us as members of the host committee, helping to bring this event to fruition. In addition, we have other members of the host committee here with us today, including Kevin Johnson of Starbucks, Chuck Arnold of the Seahawks, Todd Lewicki of the Seattle Kraken, Adrian Hanauer of the Seattle Sounders, Chris Gregoire of Challenge Seattle, and Stacy Raven of the Washington State Baseball Stadium Public Facilities District. There's a full list of host committee members in your packets, although this is a group that will continue to grow and evolve as we get closer to the event. Additionally, we are going to be setting up a local organizing committee who will be working in close collaboration with Major League Baseball and the Mariners organization to bring this event to life. Additionally, I would like to thank First and Goal and Lumen Field for playing host to Play Ball Park. Truly an opportunity to welcome families in the entire community and share our love of baseball with them. Additionally, I'd like to show our appreciation to all of our current Mariners corporate partner, in particular T-Mobile, who has not only been a great partner to us here at the Mariners, but also to Major League Baseball overall. I have full confidence with their innovation and creativity. They're going to bring amazing things to life as part of that 2023 All-Star Week experience. Last but not least, I want to take a moment to appreciate and recognize our fans. Without the fans of this community and throughout the Pacific Northwest, we would not be in a position to do this today. And with that in mind, I'd like to turn it over to one of our biggest fans, King County Executive Dow Constantine.
Well, thank you, Katie, for the introduction, and I am thrilled to get the chance to meet you for the first time. Welcome to Seattle and Martin Luther King County, and we look forward to many years of success together here with you. And thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, John and the Mariners. Thank you, Beth and the Seattle Sports Commission. And thank you, Mayor Durkin, for everything you've done, along with so many other partners, to bring All-Star Week back to Martin Luther King County. It's an honor to host the Midsummer Classic here in our region once again. From the 1979 game in the old Kingdome that my predecessor John Spellman built to bring Major League Baseball back to our region, to the game in 2001 in the still sparkling new house that Griffey built. Today's announcement builds on a rich baseball tradition here in the Central Puget Sound in Washington State. It's a history that touts 90 All-Star players and 6 All-Star coaches and features 3 most valuable players over the years, not to mention the greatest DH that ever was and ever will be. And now we have a chance to further not only the All-Star legacy of the Mariners, but also of our region and our entire baseball community. And as you've heard here today, All-Star Week is so much more than a series of events and festivities. It is a community celebration. It is a reaffirmation of not just our shared love of baseball, but of the bonds that tie us together as a community, and it will last with us long after the last pitch is thrown and the final out is called. The 2023 All-Star Week legacy projects and community enrichment programs will impact families and children throughout the greater Seattle area for years to come, deepening our commitment to and our engagement in our national pastime. Now, there are few things in this world more iconic than a baseball game on a sunny summer day. And King County is really excited to help bring this extra special occasion to fans throughout the region and the country and the world. Like many of you, I was fortunate enough to attend the 2001 All-Star Game where our own Freddie Garcia earned the win and Kazuhiro Sasaki recorded the save in front of our hometown fans. That was overall a magical season here in Seattle. And as a longtime season ticket holder, my wife and I took or look forward to taking our 7-year-old, who will then be 9, to her very first All-Star game at the ballpark that she still refers to as the Moose House. Throughout our continued collaboration with Major League Baseball, the Mariners, the City of Seattle, and many other partners, we will work to create an exciting and entertaining All-Star game in 2023. And now I'd like to introduce to you our mayor, Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin.
Thank you, Dow. Commissioner, thank you for being here, John, and everybody. Thank you to the Mariner fans, and thank you to the City of Seattle. I think this may be one of the first times that between John, Dow, and I, you got 3 hometown kids here, all grown up in the region, and I can't tell you how excited we are. And you look out that window again, I challenge you to find any city in America that's a better place to have this All-Star game. So I want to thank the Commissioner and Major League Baseball for this endorsement. You know, I'm so proud of the City of Seattle and what it's done over the last 18 months. It has been a hard, hard time. And as John said, we are weary. And this is exactly the kind of thing our city needs to look forward to gather, to have unity. Mariners stand not just for baseball, but they've done so much in this last year and a half for the community to advance racial equity, to make sure that we were safe and healthy. So John, thank you for your leadership and all of that. And now we get to have some fun in 2 years. I had this surgery so that I could pitch the first game. I don't think I'm too old yet. Edgar Jr., thank you. We wouldn't be here today if we didn't have your rich roots, so thank you for everything you've done. That last All-Star game we had here, I couldn't go. My younger son was 3 months old, but I remember watching every pitch. And you had, you know, Edgar and Ichiro. You had the big unit in the wrong uniform. But it was really a great game, and it is the kind of thing that makes memories. But more than that, it adds to the community. When the All-Star game comes to town, they will be doing so much for our community, and it gives us, as a city and a region, something to look forward to and build for. You know, we're standing in the Space Needle, which is not just the most iconic feature in our landscape. When I was a kid, civic leaders came together and rebuilt the Seattle Center and built this building as a vision for the future, that we could be that city of the future. We had something to strive for, and this All-Star game will be part of that future for Seattle. We'll have a new waterfront, a new arena, and our city will not just have made it through the pandemic, we will have led the pandemic with the lowest hospitalizations and death, with leading on vaccinations, and most importantly, in rooting our work in equity and racial justice. And along the lines, every time we've asked people to step up, they did, and where they could find joy, they shared it. And this game is going to be all about joy. So everyone look forward to 2 years. I'm going to be pitching the game, maybe not, but thank you for this ring endorsement. It's going to be a great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Durkin. Very well said. Well, at this time, we'd like to open it up for any questions. Please raise your hand. We do have a microphone, so please wait for the microphone. And also, please state your name and affiliation. Yep.
Hi, Chris Daniels with King TV in Seattle. Commissioner, my question is for you. What factors were you looking at in this competitive bidding process to bring the game to Seattle? And was the city looked at all for hosting the game this year when it was canceled or moved from Atlanta?
Well, let me do the last part first. We didn't look at Seattle as a potential home this year because we had it on the calendar for, it was going to be 23, 24. I mean, we had already been received a bid, and we're committed to one of those 2 years it was going to be here. I think the things that set Seattle apart was the quality of the bid that was submitted, which is really a credit to not only the Mariners, but the community groups that they worked with in terms of putting the bid together. Secondly, we love cities where we can envision a compact series of events for our fans, the logistics easy, and makes more enjoyable for the people that are coming here. So there was a lot of great things and the history of the 01 game, been a long time since 2001. It was really time to get back here.
Brian Diller, Seattle Times. Rob, what the Mariners initially were pushing for 2024 to 2025. What allowed them to speed up to 2023? And then also, are you looking at any other political aspects for future All-Star game venues, Texas, some of these other places?
Originally, the Seattle plan was looking later, 24 or after. I think with some of the shuffling that went on, 23 became a more viable alternative. And I have to say, the Mariners did a fantastic job in terms of the up-tempo of the preparation. I mean, it takes a lot to pull off an all-star game, a lot of preparation and planning, and John and his people did a fantastic job getting ready sooner. Our deepest hope is for baseball to return to its traditional kind of apolitical stance. We're about entertaining our fans, having an inclusive environment that everybody can come and enjoy our games, and our deepest hope is that's where we'll be.
Tim Booth with the Associated Press. Commissioner, was there any concern about potentially having 3 straight All-Star games out west? You had Denver this year and Los Angeles next year, and then Seattle. And then with that, have you had any conversations with Atlanta about re-engaging in the future about a possibility there for them?
The geographic part of it, we don't worry about. We think of ourselves as a national sport, a national product, whether we're east or west. Kind of irrelevant for us in terms of the decision-making process. Atlanta, I'm just not in a position to comment on right now.
Nico Tamuri in Como News. Geographically speaking, with Seattle being the only team in the Northwest, not just in the U.S., but for the continent, how important is it for fans in this region to have this to look forward to and to kind of have Seattle be the center in 2023?
Obviously, we like our special events to periodically visit every place where we serve fans. This club serves a very large geographic region. I think because of that, it's particularly important for us to be here on a regular basis and make sure that the fans here get to enjoy what we regard to be the greatest of the All-Star games.
Larry Stone.
One of the things Major League Baseball has encouraged us to do is to use this as an opportunity to highlight the uniqueness of Seattle, the music, the seafood, the mountains, the water. All of those opportunities are things that we're looking at in order to make this game unique and special.
Sorry about that. Larry Stone, Seattle Times. This is for John. You mentioned the $50 million in improvements to the facility. Is there some specific project that will stand out from that, or could you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Thanks, Larry. We're working on a number of projects in order to enhance the building and also the neighborhood. We've recently committed to a project in a building adjacent to us, and we now know that we'll have the All-Star game in 2023, and that's kind of a deadline for us to substantially improve those facilities, to create more opportunities for fans to enjoy the game and the events that come before and after the game.
John, Daniel Kramer, MLB.com. This might be a little bit premature, but do you guys have any sense of the logistics of where some of these events will be hosted, such as the draft and the Fan Fest activities and such?
It is, you're right, it is premature. We're certainly working towards having all of those things worked out. We're hopeful that the draft will be here. I think that's a decision the commissioner needs to make. Obviously, they did a great job in Denver this year. There have been concerts, fun runs, galas in past games, and working closely with Major League Baseball, we'll do everything we can to take advantage, create opportunities for our fans to take advantage of this event. Even if you can't go to the game, the opportunity to have something special from the All-Star game for, you know, my sons were 5 and 10 at the 2001 All-Star game, and each of them has memories of that game, and they aren't necessarily of the game itself. They're memories of the opportunity to play near the it was called something different at the time, the Fan Fest, and the opportunity to go to the softball game and do different things. Each of those represents an opportunity, so that it's not just the 46,000 fans that'll be at the game. It's the hundreds of thousands of people in this community that'll have something to touch and something to remember from the game.
We have time for one or two more questions. All right, then, if there are no more questions, we'll break out for one-on-ones, and thank you very much for attending today. Have a great afternoon.